Oh yeah, it's really good.
So let's kick into some Pool B action. Kazakhstan are kicking off. Abdrazakov from left to right in their blue outfits against Sri Lanka, who are in the white. Doesn't go 10 meters. So Sri Lanka will get a free kick. And they've got some pace here.
Let's see if Kazakhstan can keep the momentum from their previous outing. So it was a positive thing for them this morning.
Yeah, they played very well when they defeated Chinese Taipei 14-0. Bit of a surprise on the form books, you'd have to say. But as you say, Dino, they looked very well organised this morning in defence especially. But I think the Sri Lanka team might have too much pace, including this man, Surya Bandara. He gets around Abdrazakov. Abdrazakov can't catch him, and he'll go right round the outside. The mighty flash, Surya Bandara. Good starting try, opening gambit there from the Sri Lankans. And this man really startled us with his pace in KL. In fact, there was a mistake on their team list. We thought he was Roshan Veeranatne for 2 games, and I was gobsmacked that Veeranatne had so much pace, that he'd improved his pace so much, and then suddenly the penny dropped when someone told us that it wasn't Veeranatne, but it was Surya Bandara. So thank you for the Sri Lankan management for making that mistake on their team list.
Here he is to try and convert his own try.
It's strange that Marija's not taking the goal kicks, but Surya Bandara has done a perfect job. Takes it out to 7-0. And one of the key players that Sri Lanka have got back this time is Sarath Saranga. You'll see him in the number 1 jersey, probably their largest forward. They were lacking a bit of experience in KL in the tight exchanges. Here he is, he'll make this tackle on, no, he leaves it for the inside man. Good stuff from Kazakhstan until they knocked it on. There's Saranga there. Good experienced man. And there's the referee from South Africa, Super 15 referee, Rasta, who's joined us this weekend. Great to have someone with his experience around. Ball, it comes to Marija. It's Lianage, and this is Herath. We've got a couple of flyers on the bench. Sri Lanka. Herath gets up without being held. And he's another pacey man, and of course Sri Lanka's pace really telling against Kazakhstan. It's not their forte. So once they get a metre or two, they turn it into a mile. Sandun Herath got himself 2 tries in KL, and that's his first of the tournament here in Thailand. So Marija takes that conversion. And that's the whistle for half time, is it? No, there's still a bit of play. No. Just heard the big booming whistle. Surya Bandara goes with a low scudding kick, and Ivanchenko lets it bounce into touch.
Yeah, when Kazakhstan had the ball in hand, they actually looked pretty okay. You know, they went through about 2 or 3 phases and try to maybe force the pass. But when you're playing an experienced team like Sri Lanka, you just can't afford to do silly things like that. Great line-out take.
It's Abdrazakov, who even though he plays inside centre in the 15s game, we've seen him a lot of the time go into the lineouts and take ball off the top of the lineout. Quite a multi-talented player. So Sri Lanka will get a penalty here. It's Chaturanga. He looked to take it quickly. Oh, he's mucked that up, but he's managed to recover. And he's dragged down by Abdurazakov. Another penalty here advantage. Marija to Lianage. Oh, comes off the hand of Marija, but didn't go forward. Here's Surya Bandara. Oh, and shows some strength, the little fella too. Just barged away Abdurazakov there. Well, we do think of him as a tiny will-o'-the-wisp man, but oh, crikey, he showed some power in the legs there. Just got his knees pumping and pushed his way through.
Well, he showed plenty of speed in his first try, and it was just pure pace. And this time he had pace and strength to go with it.
Marija takes the kick, but it's Surya Bandara with 2 tries and a conversion. Watch this on Abdurazakov, who's one of the better defenders, not just in Kazakhstan, but in Asia, but just never really got a hold of Surya Bandara there. And by my reckoning, that gives Surya Bandara top equal score in the series so far. Tied with Lameki on 39 points. Akimbakov and quickly to Polyakov. He's been a revelation for the Kazakhstan team too, the young scrum half. They have found it hard to blood players. Here he is again, Polyakov. Looking for support, but that's a very strong tackle from Marija. Kazakhstan have the penalty. Yeah, if it's one area that Kazakhstan have found very hard, it's to blood new players. They had such a strong rugby setup 3 or 4 years ago, strong enough to get through to the repechage for the Rugby World Cup back in 2011, but then with a few key players retiring, the young blood hasn't come through. Or they've decided in some cases that they're going to play professional rugby in Russia rather than representing their country. So it's been a frustrating time for Kazakhstan rugby fans. Akimbakov to Polyakov. And wasn't straight. So Sri Lanka will get the scrum, and I'm sure they're licking their lips, looking to run another try in here from 90 metres out before half-time. It was exciting to see the Sri Lankan girls just moments ago win the plate final, Dino.
Well, it seemed more like it was a good excitement. It seemed like Christmas come all at once for them. I think it's a big highlight for them, I'm sure.
Yeah, talking to the captain afterwards, and she was very excited and full of confidence after the win that they can improve even more in the coming months. So a good boost for them in Sri Lankan rugby. Here's Herat again. And this time it's Marija who gets a start on the opposition. Stiken can't control it, but Stiken this time goes back. Now he's got 2 Sri Lankans onto him. That shows good strength to stay on his feet and wait for the cavalry to arrive, and now he's extracted a penalty. That was good covering work there from Stiken.
What I'm also seeing as well, Mike, is our invited referee from South Africa, Russ, he's actually got some really clear, strong instructions. So it's a good thing to learn from someone with that expertise as well.
That's the whistle for half-time. We've had an exciting half of rugby. Sri Lanka hitting the ground at speed. And they have the lead at half-time. Akimbakov looks a little wary already. It's half-time and the score is 21 points to 0 to Sri Lanka. Coach Galarigogov laying down the law.
But what would you be thinking if you were Gallagher Goff to his Kazakhstan players at this time here with another 7 minutes against a team with actually potentially have got so much strike power?
Yeah, I think the key for Kazakhstan, as they did in the first game against Chinese Taipei, even though the conditions have dried up, is just to hold the ball as long as they can, right? Frustrate the Sri Lankans. Don't deny them any space in defence like they worked so well in the first game.
Yeah, let's see how we go in the second half.
Here's Ivanchenko under the high ball. Goes straight at Saranga. Polyakov to Baratov. There's a new man on the field. It's Sulaimanov. Little delay while Kazakhstan get themselves set. Baratov tries to take on the line. This is Lefontov. He slipped the ball. I'm not sure if he did that on purpose, but it came nicely. And here's Abdurazakov, who shows his strength in the tackle. Gets a lovely ball to Polyakov. Dragged down, though, by Marija. Oh, now that's unfortunate because the Kazakhstan player just lost his balance, Sulaimanov, as he went in to support his countryman. A bit hard done by there, I thought, the Kazakhstan team.
And to be honest, if that would have scored after that next two phases, that could have been one of the best tries in this tournament so far.
Yes,
I think every player touched it.
Good continuity. And he just lost his feet. He did regain them after he went to ground, to his credit, but wasn't enough for referee Rasta. So here's Marija. Inside ball to Herat. Marija again, he really is the general. And he's put that ball out to Abdurazakov. He must be offside. There must have been a ruck formed there, surely.
And he's playing on.
So Abdurazakov might score the try. Totally against the run of play. He's given it. No, I guess looking back, there wasn't a ruck there, was there? It was all open play. So.
Yep, exactly. I think a lot of people in the crowd realised that must have been an offside, but wind the clock back, no ruck form, play on.
So Abdurazakov was dragging himself off the ground, making a tackle way back. And to his glee, was handed the ball from Marija.
Maybe that was to justify those multiple phases early on there, Mike. So congratulations to Kazakhstan. You know, if they can continue to do facets after facets like they just did then, you know, who knows who they can upset.
Exactly. And Abdurazakov can't make the conversion. Still feeling a little weak there. Let's just take a look at the last bit of this try as he was running on in. Some downward pressure there with his upper body. The referee was happy and showed good pace to get there. Saranga's under the ball. Ivanchenko gets him nicely and holds him up. Lefontov showed some good soccer skills. Used to play soccer, Lefontov, when he was about 6 years old. Made his debut for the Kazakhstan men's senior team at 15 years old. Surabandara, Marija. There's Herat. Has he got the pace again? It's a good tackle from Sulaimanov. Oh, nice footwork there from Sri Lanka. Saranga can't hold on to it, so it's advantage. In fact, a scrum to Kazakhstan. It's a good run from Jason Disaniaka. He's only 19 years old and really showed up as a player of the future in KL. As we see Susantha wanting to get on the field. He's going to come on in the forwards. Facing Chaturanga. To Kazakhstan. was 21-0 at half-time, and the Kazakhs are the only team to have scored in the second half. That's a nice drifting kick too into the corner. So whatever Jared Gallagher said to his team at half-time seems to have worked wonders.
They're doing very well in this tournament, the Kazakhstans. I mean, it's just collectively just holding on to that position for longer periods of time, and the space will happen. So let's see what we got on our set piece here in our line-outs.
So Abdurazakov, who goes up again and peels around himself, bidding for the try line. Well held back though from Susanta.
Big man's going himself.
And he gets pushed backwards too. Good body position there from the Sri Lankan defenders. It's a rolling maul. Sorry, Kodziba. He's lost the ball, Abdurazakov. What a shame. But that's what we talked about at half-time, just holding the ball, keeping it tight. That's Kazakhstan's advantage. Let's see if Kazakhstan can exert some pressure at scrum time here. They can. Marija manages to get the ball, and he puts in a little chip kick about a metre away from his line. Gets pummeled from Sulaimanov, who's stood out for his defence. Stikin, who can spot a gap, but lovely copybook tackle there from Susanta. Oh, and we've just probably got two knock-ons.
Two knock-ons,
yeah. So couldn't allow the Sri Lankan player to play on, Susanta. Too much pressure from Polyakov, grabbing Surya Bandara before he had the ball, so they quickly take this, and it's 3-on-2. Marija. Leonage goes inside. It's Surya Bandara again, I believe. And he really does have some pace, the little man, and that is his hat trick. Not a bad little outing, first up.
As I said a bit early on, now Mike, is just like the Sri Lankans have got quite a bit of strike power throughout, and if they wanted to play a bit more contact, they've just got the physicality up front and the ball carriers. But when you got someone like this, he's hiding out in the midfield wings, you got so many options.
And it's not just in the one-sided games he stands out. He scored 2 tries against Japan and KL. And that will be the end of the game. Well, Sri Lanka, they got off to a booming start, 21-0 at half-time. It took them a while to get going in the second. Kazakhstan came back nicely, regrouped. And that's positive for both teams. I think that's Kazakhstan's last game for the day. They've got a victory under their belt against the Chinese Taipei team. They'll be happy. Ranked 2 in the pool, at least. And Sri Lanka will go on to face Chinese Taipei in this last pool clash in a couple of hours. And that's the confirmation of the final score. Pool B,